Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I'm a sucker for fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. How is it already New Year's, or almost? It is crazy to me, but alas, it is here. And I just thought it would be really fun to share some of my palettes in my collection that I would think would be perfect for a New Year's Eve glam look. So whether you are going to be putting on your makeup to be in your pajamas on the couch, but you just want to feel pretty from neck up, or if you have an event to go to, maybe this will help either inspire you with something that you already have in your collection. You may even have these palettes in your collection and you hadn't thought about using them for New Year's Eve, or maybe you have a similar color story. Whatever it is, my goal of this is just to get you excited about doing a little New Year's sparkly glam. So if you want to see the 18 palettes in my collection that I get a little New Year's sparkly vibe from, keep on watching. All right, you guys, the number 18 is completely coincidental. I just happened to pull out all the palettes and then counted them and was like, oh, we have 18. That's a weird number. But I've decided on my channel, I don't care if it's an even number, if it's 10 or 20. If I pull out 18 that I want to show, I'm just going to show 18. And my criteria for New Year's palettes is pretty much, sparkle for one. I love a silver, a gold, but also it could even be like a pretty blue sparkle, a pretty red sparkle, pink. I just want a little sparkle in there, obviously. And I also really love cool tones, smoky tones for New Year's looks. It's just the vibe that I think looks really, really good for New Year's. So without further ado, let's do the one that is on my eyes today. I think this is a fun, I think this would be really, really pretty for New Year's Eve. So this is from the Into the Night palette from Glaminatrix. I rave about this palette all the time. I love it so much. I had it in my top 4 of 2023. And I just think this is a perfect New Year's Eve palette. One, because you have this gorgeous, gorgeous silver in there that I have on my eyes today. It is one of my favorites. It may be my favorite silver in my collection. But then I also have a little bit of this shade right here. It's On the Rocks, and it's like, it has like a blue teal little sparkle. So there's just like a little something something going on in that inner portion. But I also love that you could go really shimmery pink or the really shimmery duochrome blue here. You can also go, like, if you're more into a vibrant night out, New Year's sort of thing, you could go with the neons. And then you could also go smoky like I did with this blue here. But I also have the lime green in the inner portion, and I used a little bit of this deeper green in the crease and to blend the two together. Anyway, I knew whenever I first played with this that this would be a beautiful New Year's Eve palette, and I still think that it would be. All right, then I have a palette of just some special shades. So I definitely, well, I say I'd bring in another palette. Sometimes you just want sparkle or shifty shades for a look. So it's the Radioactive palette from Gourmand Girls. And it is just a palette of really sparkly, fun, duo multi-chromes in here. So actually, I'm going to kind of retract what I first said. I think these are perfect for New Year's just by themselves. Stick one of these or 2 of these, like maybe something on the outer portion, then a different one on the inner, and put on some lashes and lip, and you're out the door for your evening. I think this would be perfect for New Year's Eve for that. Then also from Gourmand Girls, I have the Silent Night palette. So this is the most recent palette of theirs. And I think this one's actually perfect for New Year's Eve, primarily because of this gold shimmer in here. This is the most impactful gold shimmer I have in my entire collection. Like, it is like a gold bar has been melted on your eyes. And so if you're a gold girl for New Year's Eve as opposed to silver and you have this palette, you could definitely definitely use this one. I also love that you have a black in here and a white. So if you wanted to do a smoky look, you could do that. I also think this color piece right here, the shimmer, would be pretty. It's like a lavender, silver, platinum sort of shift. And then you also have the gorgeous blues. If you're a blue, you know, girl for New Year's Eve, I think this one would be really, really fun. Kind of likewise, similar in some colors, we have the Whistler Snow Lodge palette from Nomad Cosmetics. So this kind of has a similar sort of vibe, but then you also have the additions of the green and the like berry tone, the red here. But this one in particular, this Ski Bum, is a pretty icy blue, pink, shifty sparkle. I think would be really pretty going out. I'm just envisioning like what I'm wearing right now. If you have like sequins or some sort of like metallic shimmer dress, it'd be fun to put like a real sparkly, shifty shade. You also have a beautiful gold shimmer in here as well that you can use as champagne. This one has, I believe, like a purplish pink shift to that white. You could pop in the inner corner. I also think this shade right here, it's called Black Comb. It is this beautiful blue with some shiftiness in there of sparkles. So, and I could see like this light blue. Obviously, this is a beautiful winter color story. You'll probably see it in my upcoming winter palettes, but I think it could also work for a night out or a night in, dress up for New Year's Eve. Also from Nomad, we have the Ghost Town USA. So, you know, all the way from spooky season to New Year's Eve. The reason why I say you could use this are because of the metallics in here and the cooler gray tones. So if you are going to go with something silver, but you don't necessarily want to do like silver makeup, you could definitely do the grays. I've mentioned before that this palette, at least on me, pulls very gray blue, even like these shades here that are supposed to be like green. Even the browns kind of pull gray toned on me. So pair that with one of the metallics in here, and I think that would be really pretty. Next, we have one from Colored Rain. So this is like a New Year's Eve palette. Like I'm pretty sure it was specifically for that. I've had this for a couple of years and have honestly, sadly, only dipped into this one time, which is a travesty. I need to dip into it more. But however, it had a little casualty, so it's a little bit messy in here. But cheers to, I still have the protective cover here and everything, but cheers to, what is it? Cheers to the beauty. I think this really was supposed to be a New Year's palette, but you have a gorgeous silver in here. And I remember I did use that one and the gold. So you have a gold, a silver, a deeper silver, a blue, a green, a like bronzy gold. Those are all beautiful sparkly shimmers in here. And then you also have a highlighter. So regardless of what the mattes are, if you just look at all the shimmers in here, you could definitely pull off. If you have this palette, I don't think it's available anymore. I think it's been gone for quite a while, but if you have this one and have forgotten about it, you could definitely pull it out. Then we have a few from Pat McGrath. So we have Decadence, and Decadence are all of these shimmers, these kind of like, they're like, let me just show you. They're so pretty. They're like these satiny shimmer sheen. They're not necessarily like sparkly. They're more just like a beautiful, oh, so pretty. I love that silver. I'm a sucker for silver. I just think these would be really, really, I think I already did that one, didn't I? Okay. I just think these would be pretty, especially that silver on the eye. If you're not like a sparkly girl, if you don't like a glittery moment, or if you even don't like a multi-chrome moment, you could, and you have this palette, you could definitely pull out really any of these shades, pop it on with whatever matte you want, and I think that would be pretty. But then I also have Moonlight Seduction, And I just think that the special shades in here especially would be beautiful for New Year's Eve. This is a very like soft, ethereal, but like very impactful palette when it comes to the special shades. And if the mattes aren't really your thing for a New Year's look, then you could definitely pull in just, maybe you have like a black matte and you want to do a smoky eye, but pull in one of these. That would be gorgeous. But then I also have the Artistry palette. If I can get this open. And I chose this one over the other one because the other one's more like bright, colorful. I think of it more so as like a summery palette, more jewel tones. But this in here has a lot of those metallic-y shades. You have a gold, you have the pink, the like rose gold looking shades in here, a green, you have a shimmery black with all sorts of different colors of sparkles. So I just thought that one would be good as well. All right, then for silver and cool tone lovers with like a little hint of neutrals, we have the Cutie palette from Nabla. This is the Platinum palette. And I just adore these shimmers right here, especially this silver, sucker for silver. But then this gold is really pretty too, because instead of it being like the gold that is in the Gourmand Girls palette, this one is more of like a rusty gold, and I think that would be pretty. Then for the really cool toned lovers, the smoky lovers, we have the Xenon palette from Natasha Denona. Now on me, I have a video on this, but on me, this pulls very, very blue, which is totally fine. I love a cool tone blue. So I wouldn't reach for this if I want a true smoky look for New Year's Eve, I would reach for something different. But if I wanted that smoky blue, then I would definitely reach for this. I have seen this pull more gray on some people. So if it pulls gray on you and that's what you're looking for, go for that. Now this Jouer palette, not very many people really know this palette or have this palette. It's the Ultra Foil Eyeshadow palette. And to me, it is like, it's very similar. It reminds me of the Isamaya palette. I can't think what it's called right now, but it has all the metallics in it. So these are all foiled metallics. And really, you could get any matte and pair it with any of these and have that metallic foiled look on the eye. I really, really enjoy this palette, and I wish that they would do more like it. So you have silver, green, gold. There's also the blue in here. This is a really fun palette, you guys. I want Jouer to go back to more of this stuff. Okay, then next up, this is one of my go-to smoky palettes. This is the Eternal Eclipse palette by Lunar Beauty. I actually used this with, let me just grab it now, with the Adept Minka palette last year. So the mattes in here aren't like necessarily my favorite, these two purple, and they're not really like, it's not the look I was going for New Year's Eve. So I used mattes in here. Let me just show you. I love these deeper, moody blues in here, but then I also love smoke. Smoke is like, it's a perfect charcoal. So if you don't want to go black and you need deeper than like a light gray, I love smoke to smoke out the eyes. And I actually love the silver in here as well. So anyway, I paired that with Minka last year, and really you could choose any of these. These are so impactful on the eyes. I think if I had to pick one New Year's Eve palette, it would be Minka for sure. All right, next up, we have the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty. So this kind of goes like slightly a different direction as far as like the tones, but specifically I'm talking about Moon Magic, Cosmic Love, and Blissful. Those three are so fun. So I'm basically going back over fingers, so they're getting all messed up with the other swatches, but these are just so pretty on the eyes. I think they give like a kind of a disco ball vibe to it, like with blue purple tints to it. But honestly, you could go in even with like Energized right here if you just want that pretty sort of like champagne-y sheen to the eye. I think you could get away with this for New Year's Eve. Now this one, this is a brand, I should have looked it up before I got on here, that I have not seen anything out of in a really long time. I never know if it was Ditto or Dido, but it's D-I-T-O. And this is the Brick Fun palette. This came about 2 years ago or so, and it is all just these really metallic-y shades in here that are pretty impactful. So I doubt very many of you have this palette, but here's the silver. This peacock is so pretty. This middle one is like a blue purple duochrome. You have Ocean, Creative. I mean, these are such pretty soft metallics. Look how pretty. That would be beautiful on the eyes for New Year's. But then you also have the red, this chocolate. If this palette's still available, I highly recommend it. Hopefully I'll remember to put that on the screen if it is. Then we have a Kaleidos palette. So this is the Futurism to Cyber Bronze palette. And I pretty much pulled this one out for the silver, this red, and then this sort of, what do you call this? This is sort of a, it's not a plum, but here. It's really, really pretty. It's just like a berry tone, I guess you would say. This silver, you guys notice I choose palettes that have silver shimmers a lot of the times because I'm just a sucker for a silver shimmer. But anyway, yes, I think those would be pretty on the eyes as well. And the very last one is from Unique Beauty. And I'd say this one and Minka would probably be the two most. So even though this doesn't have mattes in it, it's Giving Main Character palette. So it is a palette of all special, shifty, sparkly shades. Let me just see if I can show you guys. Look how pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. They're so soft. Again, this is a UK-based brand that hand makes her shadows. If you happen to have picked this up, I think it would be perfect for New Year's. I've got one more, I think. Okay. They're just, they're so pretty. So pretty. Even just like one and done with that on the eyes, like with what I'm wearing right now, would have been beautiful to catch the light. I just think of like New Year's Eve, you know, there's a lot of times like a disco ball if you're at a party, there's like champagne glasses, there's sequins, there's light reflecting everywhere. So think of those pretty sparkly shades, those shifty shades, the metallics, and I think you will have a beautiful look. I'm wishing all of you guys a very happy New Year's, and let's just make 2024 the best. Like, let's try to be better people. Let's try to love ourselves more. Let's try to tell the ones that we love them more often. You know, I think the goal should always be growth and that we can do better. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with me all of 2023. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.